What's up, guys? This is Micah Walker with another product review. Today I'm reviewing the Titan Fitness T3 21.5 short folding rack. Now, those familiar with my channel may remember a prior review I did for the Titan T3 Power Cage. I had previously had that rack for, a little bit over a year, and what ended up happening was I ended up buying a new house, and in my new house, the ceilings in the garage are lower, and there's not as much space in the garage. It's not as big, and so I needed to get a shorter power rack for sure, and it just so happened that I ended up stumbling on another company who had a folding rack. So because of my experience with Titan Fitness, I decided to see if Titan Fitness also had a folding rack, and just so happened that they had come out with these ones. Like I said, the main reason why I switched from a full cage to a folding cage was the space issue. Having less space in my garage means that it would just take up too much space to have a squat rack and platform, and then also have to have a separate deadlift platform. So I decided to have the deadlift platform and set up this rack in a way that if I want to deadlift on my deadlift platform, all I have to do is fold back the rack, and I'm able to deadlift. If I want to do bench press or squats, then I just pull the rack out. So it's a pretty as far as the setup goes, the setup was a little bit challenging. I had a friend help me, and so we were able to get it. One of the things that I do notice with the installation is I think we may have installed it a tad bit high, and so it's not completely touching the ground, as you can see here. And so I have these deadlift wedges that I rarely use for anything else, and I just jam those ones in there, and the rack it's pretty solid. It's definitely not as solid as a power cage, but it is solid. So basically the way it works is you have these securing pegs that go in the bottom, and they also go up here in the top, and it's like that on both sides. And it's also you pull out the peg here, and pull out the one here, and then you just kind of after you remove this thing here, you kind of push it in so it folds in just like this, and essentially you just put the peg in here again. Sorry for this camera angle, I don't normally do this. So basically this is how it would look when it's folded, and then of course the other side. As far as the pull-up bar is concerned, pull-up bar, as you can see here, basically how the pull-up bar works is it uses the same peg concept, if you can see, and what you do is you lift up the pull-up bar here, and then you just you basically just line them up on whatever height you want for the pull-up bar to be. So it's really easy setup, and it feels very secure. I weigh around 235 to 240, and I do pull-ups every week as part of my plan, and basically I feel like it's a very solid thing. So now, as far as the pros and the cons of this rack, the obvious pro of this rack is the space saving ability. As I said, this rack obviously it can fold in, and so you can essentially do what I did, and you can put it over the deadlift platform, so that you don't have to have your power cage in one area and your deadlift area in a completely separate area taking up more of your gym. You can kind of have everything in one place, and it kind of frees up space. The other pro of this rack is the price. I believe I paid $368 for it. And so to me, compared to other companies, that's a really good deal. Titan Fitness has free shipping on all of their products, so I did not pay any money for shipping on this, which I think is a very incredible deal, especially when you look at other companies that charge you shipping, and something as heavy as this would cost an arm and a leg for shipping. So the other pro, I would suppose, is there's certain attachments. This is both a pro and a con. So when I had a power cage from Titan Fitness, I had purchased numerous attachments. I had the multi-grip pull-up bar. I had the monolift attachments. I had dip bars. I had the landmine attachment. And so basically most of those attachments still function on this one. Like if you can see here, I have my landmine attachment on here, so I can use my monolift attachments. I can use my dip bars on here. I can use I also have dumbbell holders. I can use those on here as well. So most of my attachments work on this rack just like they did on the Titan regular T3. However, the multi-grip pull-up bar does not work on here. There's no way to attach it on here. So I guess that would be the negative. The other cons would be there's a lot of really cool accessories coming out for Titan Fitness, and ones that have already come out. Like there's the leg press attachment. There's some other really cool ones, but basically I don't think that they would function well on this one for a number of reasons. I think that there would be issues in terms of where you can place them on there, and then also another con of the rack is stability. I don't think this rack is as solid as the regular T3 rack, because that one is bolted into the concrete. And so overall, I would say that rack is much more solid. And I'm not saying this rack isn't solid. I still, feel very solid, especially when I put the deadlift wedges underneath. It feels very solid, but there is some budging in it. And so for that reason, I don't think it's quite as solid as the regular power rack from Titan Fitness. So that being said, I'm very satisfied with this purchase. It fits my purpose of having a rack that allows more space. I think that this is a good rack for somebody in a similar position where they don't have a lot of space to have a lot of equipment, or they're trying to make more space. I think it's a good option for those kind of people. I think it's also a good option for people who are just kind of reasonably strong lifters kind of thing. Now, one of the things that I will say on the stability part is last March, I actually had a pretty serious lower body injury while lifting. And because of that, I have not been able to really squat significantly, or deadlift for that matter, since my injury. And so because of that, I have not really been able to seriously test out the rack. So I have not squatted major weights in this rack, so I do not know how it would perform. I have done things like heavy shrugs, and with those I've definitely gone a little heavier, and I have not noticed any issues with stability. But as far as if you're a power lifter interested in this rack, I have not been able to test it because I've been injured. So I think it's pretty solid, but I definitely think that the regular power rack is more solid than this one. So that's my review on this product. I think I think like other Titan Fitness products that I purchased, it's good quality. It's a good deal because of the free shipping, and I think that this is a rack that I would recommend.